Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the character showcase for Fire Emblem Warriors. Today we're going to be looking at Xander. Now for those of you guys that have been on this channel for a while, I actually ranked Xander close to the bottom on the tier list, not because he's inherently bad in and of himself, but it's because I was kind of marking everyone based on how easily you could easily invest into someone and then have an immediate payoff. With Xander, you have to invest quite heavily into him before you can see a bit of payoff to him by virtue of his slightly finicky moveset. But the thing is, though, is that he does really require a lot of support with him in order to shine, but once he does, he's a very threatening person to be using, and definitely a very fun pick, very fast-paced. So, you look at his stats, you're going to see immediately, there is absolutely nothing wrong with his stats. He has great stats all around. 93 strength, it might seem a little bit low, but like 93 or anything higher than 90 is already going to be great damage in my book. We're going to have 92 skill. Again, 92 skill is nothing to sneeze at, and this guy, he's going to be critting very often, and that's going to be the way that you'll want to focus his playstyle. You want to expose yellow stun gauges, and then have him break it, because his combo 5 can break stun gauges almost instantly. Like, it's no joke. It's almost like a whole circle of stun gauge broken in one hit. As well, he has a very high luck stat. Now, I don't have Luna on him right now, but the thing is, though, he attacks at a very strange rate. He doesn't attack nearly as fast as most people would, even with Astra. So, if you want, you can add Luna. It's more of a passive damage boost than anything else. So, if you really want to optimize his damage, you can. But the thing is, though, given enough support, you don't really need to, and you're going to see why. We are playing a level 63 map on History Mode. This is where you unlock his Siegfried Scroll, and it's what you need to do to unlock his true power. Xander is a very simple character in that, like, there's not really much to say about him in terms of his combos. You're going to be spamming mostly his combo 5 the majority of the time, because they tend to happen a little bit slowly. Like, they're not as reliable as you would like them to be, so you would end up just looking for gauges and then running to the next person, creating another stun gauge for them, and then breaking that one. Now, his gimmick is that if you run and you continue pressing the strong attack, he will continue doing this attack animation. It's really cool on paper, but I wish they gave it a bit of a buff. It is pretty fun to use, though. I'm not going to say it's not fun to use, to just charge around on a horse and then cutting everyone in your way. But if it had a little bit more area effect, I think it would see a little bit more practical use. At least that's how I see it. Now, the thing about him, too, like, usually, most of the time, you might just be better off spamming regular attacks, since you can dodge cancel them, because most of his attacks are quite lengthy, you'll actually find, and you won't be able to dodge cancel any of them. So, if you want to use this guy for the long haul, or use him on late game difficulty levels, such as the animations, then I recommend giving him Armored Blow. That being said, his defenses overall are quite high. I think, like, overall, he might not have as high defense as Frederick, but he has the high resistance as well as defense to sort of make up for that. So, his combo 5, it's going to be 4 strong attacks followed by, 4 regular attacks followed by strong. 1, 2, this attack. It has a great amount of AoE, and it actually breaks meter instantly, as you'll see here. Yes, very fast meter break. And that's going to be his main playstyle, though. You want to partner him up with someone that complements him, so you can have basically any partner. The thing is, he kind of really does need a partner to be supporting him. But that's okay, though, because honestly, that's kind of the name of Fire Emblem Warriors anyway. The name of the game is just to partner everyone up, forge a bond, and focus on getting those dual warrior specials. So you see over here, sword users. Having a spear user is always useful, as a general rule, just because the majority of your opponents will be using a sword. And, yeah, you'll even have, like, he has no real disadvantage against most people. Even with a Mount Slayer, like, whenever you fight against an enemy like that, all you have to do is just worry about about dodging them. And just like with all Mount users, they have a running light attack that helps them initiate their combos a little bit better. So as you see over here, I'm going to start off a combo. And the thing about his Awakening mode, it's actually a pretty good use of Awakening mode. You will only be using his combo 5 most of the time anyway, but that's fine. Like, again, you're kind of just playing to make up for the fact that most of his combos might not see as much viability. But honestly, this is a really good string on its own, so don't worry about it too much. Let's see. Yeah, and kind of like with Frederick, he's able, like, the main thing about using a mounted user particularly is that they, when it comes to using mounted users, they're all about looking for the next person, looking for the next target, and then handling the objectives as soon as they can. So we're gonna go ahead and do another combo 5 here. Yes, see? Instant crit. Here we go, another one, easily. I could just burn Warrior Gauge, but we'll just show you what this lock looks like. Again, and this should be it. How many more people do we have to get? Okay, we're halfway there to the S ranking. So, really, the main issue with Xander, aside from his need for support, is also his AoE leaves a lot to be desired. Obviously, yeah, when you do your warrior specials, you would be able to hit a lot of people. It's just that it tends to be a little bit time-consuming, and if you're trying to speed farm with him, it might not be as good. Thing is, though, he does have Siegfried, and being a unique weapon, like, he doesn't suffer a damage penalty when you add Slayer, so theoretically, you could go to, like, the Maniket levels and then run around while spamming the running strong attack. Totally could. But whether or not you want to invest that time is really up to the player. If you want to because you really like Xander, or you like the idea of being on a mounted conquest on a horse, then you can. It's actually kind of funny, I was thinking about it the other day, how there's sort of a contrast between Hoshido and Nor, because the oldest brother for Hoshido was the strongest one. Like, well, at least the way that I've ranked them, I would consider, like, the oldest brother of Hoshido the strongest, which is Ryoma. And then the eldest sister, which was Hinoka, I consider her the quote-unquote weakest. But then that's opposite for... But then you see that's actually opposite for Nor, because Xander, I consider him to be the weakest out of the siblings in this game, and then Camilla's the top tier. Well, you know, again, like, viability is just a really moot term when it comes to playing Warriors games. Everyone can be good in their own way, you just need to be willing to invest or create accommodations for those characters that you love so much. And there's nothing wrong with it. Honestly, that's part of playing the game, really. Alright, there's a bunch of action going down here apparently, so we're just gonna go ahead and do this spam. Like, I would love it if they buffed this. Like, I would love to see, like, not just a damage buff, an AoE buff would be nice. Because, I could totally see some use for this. Oh. Yeah, like, I guess theoretically I could just run up to them, then summon Sita, and then just continue breaking the gauge as we're running to the next objective. Like, I guess this would be the way to get your S ranks. Hang on, how many more do we need? Okay, we're almost done. Awesome. Okay, all we have to do is just get that last fortress, and then we're home free. So that's the thing about all the mountain users and how to play them. You just go straight for the cannon, which is fine though, because that's kind of the general rule of playing these warrior games. On your priority list, what you want to do is go straight for the captains that are running around the map. That'll help you control the general flow of the entire mode. And then that's when you start looking at fortresses so that you can establish a foothold in an area, making it more difficult for captains to move any further. And then finally you would start going for outposts, and obviously the entire time you'd be looking into getting main objectives or emergencies, things like that. Yes, also depending on who you pair him up with, if you can pair him up with someone that has higher skill, or that would increase his skill rather, then that's definitely something you'll want to look into, just because you're constantly doing crits, and it'd be nice if you could just one-shot everybody. So, when you're choosing his weapon skills, a Slayer would be very useful. Something like Wing Slayer might be good because, you know, a lot of Flying Spear users exist. As well, you also might want to consider getting the... getting the either Pair Up Plus or Critical Plus. Alright, here we go. Do a combo 4 or 5. Instant go. But yeah, like, getting Critical Plus would definitely be good on him. Skill plus 10 from Takumi would be also very nice. But yeah. Like, really, like, it is asking a little bit much, I'll admit. It is asking a bit much to buff these running strong attack. But honestly, though, in a game like Warriors, brokenness doesn't really mean it's a bad thing. Like, it might mean that, like, some people might be more used than others, but being a single-player game, I don't see why not. But, you know, that's really up to the developers on that one. Just gonna throw that out there for them. If they watch this. They don't, do they? Nah, they don't. Totally don't. Cut to Tecmo K's studio office. Alright, so we're gonna open this Awakening Gauge, and it'll be the same thing as usual. You do that combo 5, instant break. Like, really, you could actually stay in Awakening mode for long amounts of time just because it's so easy to initiate these stuns. See that? So, yeah. Really fun thing to look forward to as well. Like, yes, continue your combo 5s forever. Look at that. Look how fast that break was. Like, man. Like, that's why he kind of does benefit very well from support. Like, he relies on it, but he kind of justifies the reliance on it due to his moveset. So, yeah, in terms of weapon skills, you also definitely want to get Strong 5. It's Strong 5, Rainstorm, Wingslayer if you want, Critical Plus, all that good stuff. Anyways, that basically does it for Xander. Very good overall if you want to invest your time and resources into him. There's nothing inherently bad about him, and if you like him, please, by all means, invest in Xander. Take care, guys.